Welcome to this week's edition of Cash with Chris. These three European indices beat the Dow Jones now, plus the stock market party continues. Q1 reporting season convinces. Here's first of all our risk disclaimer, so take care while trading CFDs and Forex and be aware of the risk involved. First of all, an overview with the top news, price trends and insights, and the Hall of Fame, the best traders within the NAGA trader on a highest profit and losses basis regarding daily, weekly and monthly and all-time basis. And then the market section with indices, Forex, commodities and cryptos. Then our top value, the top recommendations for the week, and followed by the most important dates for the upcoming days, and the follow us section with contact details. First of all, our top news. These are the current price trends where the Dow Jones was an unchanged situation currently, but on the longer range still positive, and big minus on a 3-month basis, minus 6%. And then the mentioned three European indices, FTSE, DAX and IBEX, all positive, and all of them beat the Dow Jones by far, plus 2, 3 and 2 on a weekly basis, and on a monthly basis plus 7, 5 and 4. Then let's switch to the Forex part. Still negative, completely negative Euro US dollar and British pound US dollar. We have here a stronger US dollar, and that's why we have a bigger minus of 1, 2 and 4 on a 3-month basis, and regarding cable 2, 3 and 4. Yeah, and the total opposite is currently within the US dollar against Japanese yen. There we have a turnaround situation and an increasing rate. That's why we have an unchanged situation and plus 4 on a monthly basis, and on a longer range is still plus 0. And let's switch to the commodity part. There we have gold now crushing the support at 1,310, moving down 5 US dollar lower, and that's why we have a minus of 1% on a weekly basis, and also negative on a longer ranges. And finally, the crude oil. There we have still a positive trend, and that's why we have up to 4% on a monthly basis. So within the last 30 days we have a nice increase within crude oil and also within Brent. Yeah, and finally Bitcoin might be here the support that we found at 9,000 US dollar, and still holds. That's why we have a positive situation within Bitcoin, and might see even higher rates within the next days. These are the insights with the markets. Here are the FTSE, DAX and IBEX. Each of them beat the Dow Jones by far. Currently we have an approach peak levels of February, so we are actually beating the February level, and additionally we have good numbers here from US car market, with a big growth for German car makers. On the other hand, we have declines at Ford and Toyota. And today we have the pretty important interest rate decision for the Fed. The CME Watch Tool sees no increases to currently 175 to 200 points. So market is not expecting here any change, and finally we have the cable against British pound against US dollar, also known as cable, and the British pound continues to descend to currently 1.36 US dollar, and finds no support currently, and the Euro US dollar supports at 1.22 does not last. We have here a loss of 2 US cents to 1.20. Threatening US tariffs on EU exports is a threat for the currency pair currently. So we have here a lot of talks and no solution. And WTI crude oil, the oil price with strong gains to over 67 US dollar now. We have a positive trend continues, and the gold market falls below 1,310 to a new support at 1,305. And here are some numbers for the currently reporting season that goes on. And first of all, Apple Q1 ends with a profit of 30.8 billion US dollar, and that's a surplus of 2.8 regarding the last year. And tax reform brings investors a lot of money, additional money, And that's why Apple plans to have a buyback program for its shares of 100 billion, and that will also push the rate of the share price of Apple. And finally, we have here Snap Q1 with a revenue of plus 54%. Is not bad to 230.67 million US dollar, but on the other hand we have a big loss of 385.8 million, and in total it's now 2.2 billion US dollar. And the car maker Tesla, where we see numbers today, and analysts expect 3.5 billion in sales compared to 2.7 last reporting season, and the loss per share should be at 6.6 per share compared to 8.8. And finally, T-Mobile USA will have the control of Sprint after the acquisition, and net customer growth here for Q1 was pretty good. We saw an increase of 670,000 customers in Q1 for T-Mobile. Im April haben wir Großes vor. Wir erwarten unsere neue NAGA Wallet, die weltweit beste Wallet für deine Coins und Tokens. Darum NAGA Wallet. Du kannst damit einzahlen, senden, konvertieren, und zwar Bitcoin, Litecoin, Dash, Bitcoin Cash, Ethereum und NGC. Über 1200 Token werden mit Echtzeitinformationen unterstützt, und mit einem einfachen Klick kannst du auch an ICOs teilnehmen. Sofort verbunden mit Aktien, Devisen und Rohstoffhandel. Es ist sicher, skalierbar und weltweit verfügbar in über 20 Sprachen. Weitere Informationen unter naga.com/wallet, und da kannst du dich auch in unsere Whitelist eintragen. Here we have the Hall of Fame within the NAGA trader, the best trader with the higher profits regarding the results on a daily, weekly, monthly and all-time basis. So here are the best traders on a daily basis regarding highest profit and losses, and there he is. On a daily basis, best trader is Yorgosov, 5,027, followed by Swiss Forex trader 26, and PEO ETXE1 2,500. Followed by the weekly basis, there we have the best trader, and it is Safo 5,686 worth around 30,400, and then on second place NPA 9070 with around 10,000, followed by Freigeist 77 9,700, and on a monthly basis the best trader is Safo 5,686 with 128,673 US dollar profit, and then Yorgosov 24 and 129, and Denili, a well-known face, 80.367,000 US dollar profit and around 90 autocopiers. And finally, the all-time basis, the best trader by far, it's still JP Polo with 141,000 now, 623 and around 110 autocopiers. Then Charissa 65,881, and Denili 58,380. And that's it for the Hall of Fame today. Let's give you an overview of all the markets, the main markets within swipe stocks. First of all, our stock index overview. So first one is the Dow Jones, and let's check out here the currently technical aspect. We have here the all-time high at 26,673, and the lowest part currently at 23,521. And since the 17th of April, we see a decrease here from 24,834 to 23,895. And yesterday we saw the Dow Jones almost unchanged. Best value was Apple and Intel because of the good Q1 data. Apple with a surplus of 6.3%, Intel with plus 4%, followed by Microsoft 2.3%. And at the end we saw Pfizer with around minus of 3%, and Merck 2%, and McDonald's minus 1%. Let's check out the FTSE 100, and currently FTSE 100 is at 7,505. Good to remember here. And we have a special increase here, almost catching here the 7,730 high of 12th of January. Support was at 6,773. So currently still a cheap entry situation. I think we will almost close this section here within the next days. And the best value for today is ITV, because Jeremy Clarkson returns to ITV with a new show, Who Wants to Be a Millionaire. And that's why ITV has a big surplus here of 9.8%, followed by TUI 3.4%, and International Airlines Group 3.4% as well. On the other hand, we have Kingfisher with a big minus of 7.8%, and Paddy Power Betfair minus 4%, followed by BT Group 2.2%. Let's check out the German DAX. Today was a big surplus of around 140 points or 1% to 12,777, excuse me. And the best value for today is Infineon 3.6, Deutsche Börse 2.5, and Volkswagen 2.4 because of the good sales figures from USA. And a lot of gainers here within the German car manufacturing section, and yeah, at the end we have only a small group of losers. Henkel is one of them, 0.3. And let's check out here the chart. We have an increase here to dimension 12,777, and this is a positive trend that goes on since the starts here at the 23rd of March. Like in Dow Jones and FTSE, this is the most important date here, where all the indices start their increase currently. And the next target for German DAX is the 30,590. Yeah, next one is IBEX 35, and the third recommendation for today regarding better indices compared to Dow Jones. So check out here the 23rd of March. We have here this increase to almost 10,073. So it's half of the way to the high here at 10,680. And also currently we see an impressive increase of 155 points or 1.6%. First one here is International Airlines Group with a surplus of 3.4%, like in the FTSE, because they're also noted there, followed by Gamesa 2.8 and Amadeus IT 2.5. And at the end we have Viscofan minus 2.6 and Opposan Lane 2.4. Finally, let's go to the Forex section. Yeah, let's check out the Forex part, and we are facing heaviest losses within the European currency pair against the US dollar. So we will see a stronger US dollar because of those talks between Washington and Brussels and all the trade differences and boycotts. So let's check out here the downtrend. We have a decrease from 124 to let's say 120. So almost losing here 4 US cents. And maybe there's a support at 190.90. So leaving here the neutral part that was guided here by the 122 and the 124 here in the upper part. So crushing here this support and moving straight downwards here to the 120. Yeah, 120 as I mentioned before. And hopefully we see here a stop of the fall of the euro-US dollar. On the other hand, we see here a stronger US dollar against the Japanese yen, and that's why we have here a nice turnaround situation. Like I showed you the seasons before, support is at 104.74 yen, and we even saw here the 109.78, and that's why I inserted here the ray line here. I'm already crossing here the 170.79 at the 21st of April. So maybe need to adjust here the chart a little bit. So the next target for US dollar Japanese yen, let's take annotation, might be, for example, here this peak here at 110.39 and here the 111.45. Yeah, on the other hand, we have additional negative trend within the cable, and you can see the massive losses here, starting here 143, and actually we have here the 136. So we have almost lost 7 US cents, and also see here stronger US dollar. And today we have a surplus of 0.23%, so might have here a small relief here for today, and followed by bad numbers on a weekly, monthly, and all on 3 months basis, so up to minus 3.4% within the last 90 days. Let's switch to the commodities and cryptos part with gold, oil, and Bitcoin against US dollar. Yeah, the gold rate currently with a nice surplus of $6.35 or 0.5% to currently 1,310, and a bit friendlier like the day before. There we saw a rate of 1,304, but it's all within the neutral trend, so don't worry. It's not like within a cable or US dollar. But on the other hand, we saw here a sell signal here at 1,335, crossing here the ray line from north to south, and maybe we are dealing within this area also within the next week, and hopefully see higher rates. Next is crude oil, and it's one of the most reliable charts currently, and you can see we have a nice increase here from 58.68. That was the support of the gap here that we closed in the past, and formed a new high, starting here from 66, and even saw an increase of $3 US, and currently we are trending here at 67, and let's see for the current numbers. We have a minus of 2%, or let's say $1.43. Yeah, finally Bitcoin against US dollar, and currently fighting here for the 9,000 US dollar mark, and on the other hand also could be a nice cheap entry situation with an increase here from 6,592 since the 6th of April, and almost closed most of the losses here from the top of 11,667 from the 5th of March. Zahle und trade jetzt mit deinem NAGA Coins. Vorteile beim Handel mit dem NGC-Konto. 2-mal mehr Kopierbonus erhältst du, wenn du mit deinem NGC-Konto tradest, wenn jemand deinen Auftrag kopiert. Du kriegst eine prozentuale Rückvergütung für jeden ausgeführten Trade, exklusive Features im NAGA Trader, 50% niedrigere Gebühren beim Handel im NAGA Trader, und das Ganze nochmal aufgeführt unter nagacoin.de. Hierfür gibt es auch ein Video auf YouTube, der Link siehst du hier unten. The third point is top stocks of the week. Yeah, let's check out the recommendations of today. And first of all, we have RENTOKIL, a total different company like the ones before, not operating in mines or in the steel business or IT. No, it's hygiene service, green space, and pest control. It's RENTOKIL, initial worldwide company operating with around 31,000 employees, with 1 million customers in 70 countries. So it's so that's why it's one of the largest companies of its kind, and we saw pretty good numbers, around 50% increases within sales and profit for last year. And RENTOKIL has a lot of companies, a lot of takeovers, around 41 companies with a volume of 280 million pounds. And for this year we have almost the same takeover volume. That is 250 million pounds to buy additional companies. Yeah, as a result of a strong growth, RENTOKIL will raise its dividend by around 50% to around 4 pence per share. So currently we have a cheap entry rate below the all-time high And that's why we have here nice targets of 8.53 and 9.55. That's top target, and stop loss around 8.20. So it's the lowest rate within the last weeks. And finally, the numbers, we have an increase of 6% within 1 week and 14 on a 1 month basis. Yeah, the next one comes from Spain. It's the BANKINTER, and BANKINTER submitted figures for the first quarter, April 26th. So we saw pretty good numbers here between January and March. We saw an increase of 50% to 143 regarding net profit, and especially business with loans, so customer loans and insurances, named Línea Directa, increased by 3.3%, and company business increased by around 4%. So pretty good. And the gross margin increased by 9.1% to around 500 or half a billion euros, and the return on equity or profitability now stands at 30.3%. So this number is one of the the best one within the bank sector. So BANKINTER is one of the most profitable banks also. So on the other hand, we saw reducing from the property assets from 511 to 400 million euros, and thus for 2018 begins with the same positive trend and the same profitability and the recurring growth of the recent years. And finally, BANKINTER customers have recently been able to make mobile payments via smartphone via the Apple payment servers. So that's the service German customers are dreaming of. And finally, we have here the targets of 8.53 euros on average, 9.55 on top, stop loss 8.20. And here's also a cheap entry situation below the high, and we already saw an increase of 1% within the last 7 days and 3% within the last 30 days. Let's take a look at the most important events for the coming days. Yeah, the top events for the day. Let's check out the Kaijin Manufacturing Index. So better numbers compared to the forecast. So good numbers here, good forecast for the following markets here. Like every week, we have here crude oil inventories, and I would say this week is the week of the employment data. For example, here USA ADP for April, followed by unemployment rate on Friday and non-farm payrolls, and this one is more important than the one before. And finally, JOLTS job openings, a lot of job data here. And as you can see, we have a lot of holidays here for Japan on Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and also for UK on Monday. Finally, here's our follow us and contact section with our social channels. You can follow us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and LinkedIn. And if you'd like to open a live account, don't hesitate. Just visit nagamarkets.com, and you can open a live account just within 5 minutes, a real live account with real money, and you can earn a lot of money. And additionally, find information regarding the Naga share. The name is the Naga Group AG. The symbol is N4G, and here's also an ISIN number. And finally, the Naga coin information regarding the coin is Naga coin, and the symbol here is NGC. Yeah, finally, thank you for your attention, and hopefully see you next time. Chris.